Okay team, so this week we are looking at push-ups. So on Monday, Wednesday and Friday I'm going to do a video for you on push-ups, okay? I know it's one thing that a lot of you are working on, maybe you're working towards your first push-up, maybe you've got a few and you want to get a few more, or maybe you've got push-ups but you want to make them a wee bit more efficient, and I don't think you can ever have too many push-ups. So this video is for everybody here, it's not just if you're working towards them, okay? So today I'm going to look at the setup, execution and finish of a push-up. Wednesday I'm going to look at things that we can do to, build up the strength for push-ups. And then Friday we're going to look at where we go from push-ups. So we're going to look at maybe a few things like ring push-ups, handstand push-ups, that sort of thing. Okay, so something in there for everybody. Okay, let's start. So first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at the setup position on a push-up, because that's where sometimes it can go wrong from the start. So now this can be applied either to the floor or elevated on the box, okay? First position, setup position. Okay, so we're in that top of a plank. Our hands are about shoulder width apart. You've got to make sure that your wrist, elbow and shoulder are stacked. We're going to have that hollow body position, tucking that pelvis under, keeping nice and tight. Now, with a hollow body position, our shoulders are protracted. So remember those scat push-ups where we retract, protract? They're in protraction at the start. So that's your setup position. Remember that hollow body, protract the shoulders, squeeze the legs together. Okay, and then we've got our execution. So we come down, push back up. So, we've done our setup. Our execution, what we want to make sure is that we're keeping that straight line throughout. So everything stays nice and tight. Tight core, tight legs. When we're coming down, we want to make sure that our shoulder blades are going from protraction to retraction, so they're squeezing back together again. What you don't want to happen is your shoulder blades to elevate, okay? If they elevate, we're shrugging and they're less efficient. Okay, so I can show you this from the side. So imagine this is a push-up position. My shoulders are protracted here. I'm coming down to the finished position and you'll see my shoulders are away from my ear. Now if I shrug, you'll see that's not a nice position to be in. Okay, so we want to make sure that those shoulders are away from the ears at all times. Finished position. In the finish of a push-up, it should be your chest on the floor, not your stomach and thighs, just your chest, okay? But that doesn't mean that your butt gets left at the top, okay? Again, we're keeping that nice line. So, there's a few things that can go wrong. I've gone through shrugging. The second thing that can happen is our elbows come out, okay? We don't want that. The elbows must go back, okay? So if I show you from the front, push up, we find that the elbows go out. It's completely inefficient. So we're not building strength and we're not going to take our push-ups anywhere by our elbows going out, okay? If we want handstand push-ups, everything's tucked in. Push press, strip press, tucked in. So those elbows out is a no-no, okay? If you can only do push-ups with your elbows out, you need to take a few steps back. So that might mean incorporating the box for this, okay? So elevating them a wee bit. Reprogram yourself so those elbows are being tucked in, okay? So that's the first error, is those elbows out. So shrugging, elbows out. Third thing we see a lot of is snaking. So we've got that nice setup position, coming down, and then we do that nasty snake. So you'll see I'm overextended in my back, and that's when I'm going to start to feel it in my back, okay? Sometimes when we get fatigued, that happens, happens normally. What I want you to think about is keeping nice and tight through the core. So that nice squeeze, keep the tension. If that does happen and you consistently snake, you need to elevate them. So sometimes it's just taking a couple of steps back to push forward, okay? So that's the next one, is the snaking, and that's maybe when you find that you've got a sore back from that sort of thing. The final thing that we see of is people loading their elbows as opposed to their shoulders. Okay, so let's see if I can show you this. I'm trying to get away from the light. Okay, so that's me in my starting position, and you'll find that at that bottom position, if you see, my elbows are further back and they're not on top of my wrist. Okay, so that's me loading my elbows as opposed to my shoulder. Okay, so what we want to be doing is in that bottom of the finishing position. So it might mean coming a wee bit further onto your toes for that one, coming down, pushing back up. So at that bottom position, my arms, my elbows are directly over my wrist. Okay, so that makes them a wee bit more efficient. So that's your push-up. Best thing for you to do is to video yourself doing a few push-ups. I didn't realise I shrugged when I push up, so it's something I've been working on. And also the elbows, I didn't realise that. All of these little things mean that when you start to get into your handstand push-ups or you know, high volume, it means that they're more efficient. Okay, you're going to learn these skills a lot easier if you can pick up those little bits in your push-ups to start off with. Okay, right guys, I will see you on Wednesday and we will go through some ways that we can work on building strength. Okay, enjoy!